Thank you. Thank you, Rima. Very strong and powerful woman who is working for us all the time in ways we don't know. So thank you, Rima. Um, I am very excited to be here and to celebrate International Women's Day and women and girls everywhere. I'm grateful to the UN, United Nations Women for Peace Association, or as I like to call it, UNWFPA, for this incredible honor. It's very special to be recognized with these other recipients of their awards. And Leslie, I mean, just such an inspiring speech that you just gave, a call to action. I know my children would agree with you on the mathematics not being mandatory. But really, just what the concept you're talking about is so important. And it was just new to me just hearing that. And I am inspired to try to do something. And I think we all are in this room. So thank you. So I stand before you as the son of a mother and the father of a daughter. Sounds a little weird, but I, like all men, owe my existence to women. And these two women have had an incredible influence on me. One nurtured me, fed me, and taught me simple tasks like tying my shoes. How my teenage daughter found the time to do these things while going to high school and applying to colleges is a testament to her strength and patience. In reality, my mother was the most important force in my life, and she set an example for me of what it meant to be an independent thinker and an individual voice, unafraid to break with what society expected at a time in this country when women were looked at as secondary to men. By contrast, my daughter is coming of age at a time when women's voices are stronger than ever, and she uses her voice to speak up for those who are disenfranchised and for those whose rights are vulnerable and unprotected. And as a dad, that makes me very proud. And her voice is very necessary. We live in a world where women and their rights are constantly at risk. As a goodwill ambassador for UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, I've met refugees and displaced people in different parts of the world. And everywhere, without exception, the challenges that women face are much harder. Last summer in Guatemala, I had a chance to meet three very strong, cool women named Gabriela, Maria, and Lula. And they had fled gang violence in their home country of El Salvador, which has one of the highest murder rates in the world. These women didn't leave their homes because they wanted to. They left because they had no other option if they wanted to stay alive. They left behind a home that had been in their family for generations. They left behind family. They left behind friends. They left everything behind to save their lives. And I can't even begin to describe the enormous challenges that these women have been through. And against all the odds, with nothing more than what they could carry on their backs, literally, they came to through Guatemala and settled in Guatemala until they can go back home, which hopefully they can someday. And there, Gabriela and Maria have become sister entrepreneurs with a pupuseria, which is this sort of sandwich type thing. It's very tasty, and I had a chance to visit with them in their home and to try their food and to see the life they were making for themselves. And their daughter was a lovely young woman named Lula. She's about 14 years old, and she told me that she one day wants to work in the tourism industry. And even after missing a whole year of school and leaving everything that she knew, she had this very settled, kind of calm determination about her hopes and dreams and what she wanted to do. And in her and my daughter, I saw a lot of similarities. Both are very strong, smart, and driven. There were some differences too. Lula had a picture of Justin Bieber on her wall. My daughter thinks Justin Bieber is the devil for some reason. I don't know why. But she does live, the biggest difference is that Lula lives in a world where she literally has to fend for her life on a daily basis. That's a very different reality than what my daughter is living in. And for her, even the smallest activity like going to get water can put her at risk of rape or abuse. And that's just the reality that she lives in. And organizations like United Nations Women for Peace and UN Refugee Agency are working to change that. And by providing shelters and programs and training to empower women all over the world. So for girls, they're half as likely to be enrolled in a secondary school as boys. So these organizations are working to change things like that. And it's ongoing, the work is constant, but there is progress being made. And by being here today and supporting this organization, you're making a difference. We're all making a difference just by being here and supporting it. So thank you for being here. And once again, I'm grateful to UNWFPA for the honor. And I would like to dedicate it to my mother and to my daughter, who did teach me to tie my shoes, and to refugee women all over the world who are having to find their way in a very challenging climate. So thank you very much. I'm really honored. Thank you.
Stephanie, please. Stephanie, come. No, can you come in? No, you have to come in. No, why did you come in the picture? Can you come to the picture, Stephanie? Stephanie has to come to the picture. Stephanie, come. Stephanie, we want you.